Hey, y'all, I'm back with more news and commentary you can use. Listen, y'all, with everything that's going on, we've been talking about food shortages, water shortages, supply chain crisis. Listen, y'all, we've been covering a lot of topics, right? We've been covering a lot of topics. Listen, y'all, I want to let you know, this is a story that I don't see being headline news, but it's definitely being talked about. The United States Postal Service, okay? Could there be a mail delivery crisis coming? Okay, I have some information here that I want to share with you all. Listen to this now. According to my sources, okay, the USPS, or United States Postal Service, keeps losing money, okay, potentially putting people who depend on mail delivery at risk. Hold on, y'all. Sorry about that, y'all. Okay, listen. According to my sources, okay, the U.S. Postal Service's 10-year plan, they had a 10-year plan, y'all, to stop operating at a loss isn't going well, okay? And the article says if they can't get back on track, that could threaten its ability to deliver the mail and pay its retirees benefits, okay? Listen to what they're saying, y'all. Now, according to what the article says is a federal watchdog group, okay? Expenses have grown faster than revenues for years, partly because of the drop in first-class mail, its most profitable product. Okay, I'm learning something new here. Did you all know this was going on? Did you all know that our post office was actually, operating at a loss? Okay, I'm learning something here as I share this information with you all. And if you have any insight into this information, please let me know as well, okay? This is what they're saying, y'all. The USPS also faces competition for package delivery from private companies, while key costs such as employee compensation have continued to rise. Now, any gains, the article says, made since the plan was announced 2 years ago have been offset by increased costs that postal officials say are mostly due to inflation, okay? One thing I think about, y'all, do you know the price of stamps have even gone up? Okay, how many of you all still use stamps, buy stamps? I buy stamps as well. I recently bought a book of stamps, and I want to say they were like $12, $13. Okay, I remember being able to go in and buy a book of stamps for like, it seemed like $7, $8, maybe just even a few years ago. And now all of a sudden, a book of stamps is like $12, $13, y'all. Okay, so apparently, inflation is not only affecting food prices, gas prices, electricity costs, things like that. It's also affecting the post office as well as other businesses as well. Listen to this, y'all. Okay, now this information was according to an assessment published this week by the U.S. Government Accountability Office, okay? The agency recommended policy changes to improve implementation. Here's a quote by the GAO, the U.S. Government Accountability Office, who had this to say, and I quote, "The Postal Service's strategic plan has the potential to help its operations and revenues, okay? But how well the plan is implemented will affect how much help it provides, okay?" They're also saying, and again, y'all, I didn't know this, okay? They're saying that the Postal Service hasn't collected enough revenues to cover its expenses and debt for more than 15 years, okay? So if I do the math, so it hasn't been that way since 2008, they're saying, okay? What else happened in 2008? Wasn't that when the, the mortgage crisis happened? So I wonder did that have an effect on that as well, okay? Again, if you have any insight into what I'm talking about, please share it in the comment section, okay? They're also saying that the volume of first-class mail is expected to continue to decline as people pay more bills electronically, okay? Think about that, y'all. A lot of times, people look for convenience. Certainly if they can avoid, having to write a check, send a check in the mail, avoid delays and things like that. People are looking for, a lot of times people are looking for convenient ways to just log in and pay. So apparently, as technology has advanced, the Postal Service has been affected by that as well, okay? So again, let me repeat. The article says the volume of first-class mail is expected to continue to decline as people pay more bills electronically and communicate online. Okay, think about that, y'all. Okay, published in March 2021. So communicate online. Could that be, let me see some examples about that. So they're saying that more people are paying bills electronically, communicating online. So maybe instead of receiving statements, for example, in the mail, people are opting to receive electronic statements, things like that, okay? The article says that published in March 2021, the Postal Service's strategic plan aims to at least break even by 2031 while also improving service. Now, among the plan's more than 120 components, the article says, major ones include closing some mail facilities. Okay. Hello, y'all. Let me knocking on the screen. Can you hear me? Let me say this again. Okay. Among the plan's more than 120 components. Okay. Major ones include closing some mail facilities. Okay. So I want to let you know. Okay. They definitely don't want us to sound the alarm about this. Okay. But do you know that they have, as a part of their strategic plan, so to speak, a plan to close some mail facilities. Okay, now in some communities, maybe you can do your research online. This has already happened. In some communities, this may be coming. Okay, so they're planning to close some mail facilities. Okay, which also could potentially mean the loss of jobs if those employees are not able to be transferred. It could also mean a delay in mail. Okay, if the mail has to be rerouted to other facilities, and then to the customers or the the people's addresses, that could mean it could be a delay. It could take longer to get mail there. And they're also saying replacing aging delivery vehicles, which are driving up maintenance costs. Okay, or if you don't know, there's a huge push, it seems like, to introduce electric vehicles. Maybe even in some cases delivering mail by drones and things like that, or robots. So these are all factors, when they say, okay, well, due to climate change and all these other different, things and whatever you want to call it, right, agenda, they're looking for ways to say, okay, well, instead of doing this, let's try this because it's better for the environment. In some ways it could be. I'm not here to argue and say that it is or it isn't. But, they use, I feel like, they use situations like this to then introduce what they have planned. Okay, y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Listen, y'all, the USPS, U.S. Postal Service, or United States Postal Service, has also given itself more time to deliver the mail. Listen, y'all, the delivery standard for first-class mail and periodicals increased from a maximum of 3 days to a maximum of 5. Okay, partly because of those changes, the USPSA has improved on-time delivery performance. Okay, last year, the article says, the Postal Service recorded its best service performance since 2018. Okay, but it has also continued to raise rates. Okay, that's true as well. Even the cost of getting a P.O. box, okay, at the post office, that has gone up as well. Everything has gone up. Okay, I talked about stamps earlier. Listen, y'all, in July, the price of a forever stamp increased for the fourth time. For the fourth time, it says in 2 years, to 66 cents. Okay, that increase came not long after the USPS reported it had lost, listen to this, y'all, $2.5 billion in the second quarter, an increase in net loss of $1.8 billion compared to the same quarter last year. The greater losses were due in part to, listen to this, y'all, higher costs caused by inflation and declining mail volumes, okay, according to the USPS. In a meeting, the article says, in a meeting this month with the Postal Service Board of Governors, CEO Louis DeJoy said getting the financial ledger closer to goals will require a reduction in inflation. Okay, now do you all feel like that is going to happen? Okay, that's a whole nother topic, right? He was also quoted as saying, and I quote, more aggressive cost reductions, increased package revenue, and other changes, okay, according to a copy of his prepared remarks. He was also quoted as saying, well, I am an optimist and I believe this is all achievable. Okay, so listen, y'all, we learned a lot of points from that particular article. One thing that definitely caught my attention, again, like I said, just learning that our post office, United States Postal Service, is operating at a loss, and it's been that way for several years now. Then going on to learn that they're going to be looking for more ways to cut costs, okay, which could include closing mail facilities. That's a part of their plan and things like that. So again, I asked the question, okay, could a mail delivery crisis be coming? Okay, think about it. Find out what's going on in your local area. You know, there are some communities, depending on the size of the population, right? There may only be one post office, okay? A lot of times, now I would tell you to go in and maybe ask some questions, but a lot of times, you know, the workers may be blindsided. They may have no idea what's going on, what's coming, simply because they're not being told the truth. You know how that goes, right? You and I both know how that goes. So, you know, again, think about these things. Keep those in mind. Could a mail delivery crisis be coming, okay, to your area or, you know, other parts of the United States, okay? Thank you all so much for continuing to support the channel. I appreciate each and every one of you all. Let me know in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on this particular topic. Have you seen any changes in your area? Also, I can't tell you what to do, but, you know, I've said this before here on the channel. You know, you may want to look into community groups. You know, they have, whether it's online or in person, you know, do your research, find out what works best for you. But I have read in a community group that I'm a part of where some people are complaining, saying, hey, we haven't gotten mail for days. There's a delay in mail. All of these things are happening. Okay, so it could be, you know, some of those same things that I talked about in the article are happening at those particular post offices. Okay, we know that with labor shortages, we know that with, you know, the pandemic and all of that, that certainly had an effect on the post office, the workers there, you know, and I have even seen firsthand where, you know, in the post office, okay, I'm one of the people who I still go into the post office, okay. Some people, they strictly deal with everything online. They have no need to go in, but I still, like I said, I still buy stamps. I still go into the post office. I was in the post office several weeks ago. Actually, not even a month ago, to be exact. And do you know, in this particular area, let me know if it's like that in your area. But the lady in the post office, it was only her working. I don't know if there was anyone else. I'm sure it was other people maybe in the back, but for whatever reason, she would only let one person through the door at a time. Okay, at that particular office. I went to another location prior to my most recent time, where it was only one person working at the counter. At the counter, there was a line of people, and this postal worker was letting only 3 people in at a time. So, you know, I don't know the reason behind that, but what I'm saying is, from what I could see, it was a lack of help. Maybe, you know, due to whatever reason, maybe someone else was working. They were taking turns, you know, having a break, because they're human too at the end of the day. But I definitely have seen some changes now that I connect the dots and lay all the, you know, cards out on the table. I have definitely seen some changes, even at the post offices that I have visited. So let me know what you're seeing in your area. I thought this was important for us to know, so I wanted to come on and share with you, okay? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and as always, thank you for supporting me here on the channel.